live right now. So
We're live now.
yes. I forgot to say no swearing. So don't swear. Because Mark Zuckerberg will come and get rid of us and stuff. Hello,
Right.
everybody!
No,
Hello!
swearing is difficult for me to do, Frank.
Okay, well, we should have discussed that before I asked you to do this. This is Mike Westwood. I'm Frank Horvat. Thank you for joining us here on Facebook Live Chat about my new albums this week. So this is awesome. Mike is the main catalyst and was the clarinetist on the recording for If Not Us Then Who, the first track off of the Current Agenda, the album that just came out today. Mike and I are right now talking to you on Lake Ontario in southern Etobicoke in Humber Bay Shores Park. So it's so awesome that we're listening to the beautiful dulcet sounds of the...
Dulcet?
Yeah, that's a fancy word.
That's a fancy word.
I don't know where. I think I pulled that out of my butt. People might be interested. How do we know each other? We went to school with each other.
We went to school together a couple of years ago. I think it was 2013 or 14. Wasn't it?
No. We sort of reconnected probably about 4 or 5 years ago.
Five years, I think it was.
Right.
Yeah, I remember actually meeting you at the Starbucks at Pape and Danforth.
Which is, incidentally, for those of you who watched earlier this afternoon when I was talking with Chris Lee about another piece on the Current Agenda, I met Chris there for the first time at that exact same location.
Which is ironic because you don't even drink coffee.
And I don't live in the East End of Toronto. So,
And those are two reasons. It's bizarre that we met at a coffee shop in the East End of Toronto then.
Exactly. Of all the coffee shops in the world. Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
She had to walk into mine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. At the time that we had met again, maybe you remember, I had actually quit performing. Do you remember that? I had
Yes.
5 years. I had
Right.
left the music business altogether. Now, and in the sort of reinvention of myself, I decided to pick up the clarinet again
Right.
and to do a concert. And that was July 2013, actually.
It's amazing.
And when I did that concert, I realized that I missed it a lot. It was kind of like, you go on a long journey and you're away from home for a long period of time. And when you're on the journey, you don't really realize, you don't really miss home that much because you're enjoying the travel, you're enjoying the journey. But
Right.
when you finally do come home, you realize that you really did miss it all along.
I think that's what makes music addictive, right? I don't know what it is about being a musician. I mean, we don't get paid anything. We practice long hours.
Sometimes we get paid something.
Yeah,
It's
hopefully sometimes, But for how much we just do this all by ourselves, day in, day out, practicing hours on end, or for me, sometimes writing a lot, just hours on end.
Absolutely.
Not knowing if what you're working on is going to ever materialize for anything, but yet there's something still innate about wanting to do it. So I don't even think I can't put it into words. So basically, I walked away from the meeting, and I knew you had the concert lined up where you were going to perform the piece, and I came up with this piece called If Not Us Then Who, and this piece is all about climate change, and it captures the essence of sort of the political nature of climate change. And the clarinet, for me, and the cello are such emoting instruments that, for me, it was like, yeah, this would work so well.
First of all, I love the piece. I love the context of the piece. I love the political spin on the piece. I mean, issues like climate change and issues like the politics behind it, I think, are extremely important. And interestingly enough, I think today, actually more relevant than they were at the time that you wrote them, simply because of the current political, situations. So in terms of how the piece is to play, I mean, how it's written. I mean, it's written in a very repetitive sort of manner. So it requires, from a performance standpoint, it actually requires a lot of restraint and a lot of careful attention, a lot of focus, because it is, so many repeated, sort of overall articulated notes, which in the clarinet particularly is quite difficult, especially in some of the registers that you were written to accomplish, so that it comes across, in an effective way and cleanly and neatly and everything else, and so it's quite a challenging piece to play in that regard. I find that the way that you wove the audio, the speech into the trio itself was extremely effective as well, and I find it a very emotional piece in ways to play as well, particularly when he has those outbursts, this is the time to change, for our children, our grandchildren's future, this type of thing, which is extremely powerful, and he gets quite emotional to play it sometimes.
He's in tears. Yep Sanyo, the Filipinos UN envoy for climate change, he's in tears and he screams, "No more excuses." And it's just like, there's certain points on the current agenda where I'm always listening, and it's just like, I can't listen.
And as we sit here every single hour, even as we vacillate and procrastinate here, we are suffering.
Proud of your recording, how you guys did it. I'm really proud of it because of the fact that you really bring out the essence of it, the piece. It has these sort of special moments in the way you're shaping phrases and bringing out certain tones and pitches and shaping phrases and so forth. But it sort of also has a little bit of that spontaneity that you still find in a performance. So what do you remember about the recording session?
Well, first of all, I love the process of recording,
right.
Although it is in itself a terrifying process.
In what way? Why is it terrifying?
Because what you're going for is a permanent, unchangeable product.
Right.
And so there's a lot of pressure to try and really get it right.
Right.
And to try to make sure that not so much no mistakes. I mean, they're not going to make mistakes necessarily, but that the tone, the timbre, as much as you can to produce what you hear in your head.
Right.
And then once it's done, that's it. It's a hard copy, it's a digital copy, and you can't go back. So it's terrifying in that respect.
Yes.
But it's an exciting process, and I really enjoy the process of recording because you do have an opportunity to really listen to what you've done, and unlike, of course, a live performance, go back and make modifications, redo it, change, phrasing, change dynamics, change, certain ways that you play. So you really have the opportunity to repeat it many times and get it right.
Absolutely.
So, and I think, having listened to it, that we have done that.
This full album that came out today, The Current Agenda, there's 6 compositions based on social justice issues, current events. What is your feeling, especially now working with me? Mm-hmm. And this, of course, is not our only project. You premiered you did a wonderful performance of a new piece a couple of years back of a 30-minute piece for clarinet and piano, all about the Syrian refugee situation. You also premiered a clarinet concerto that I wrote for you, and that's been performed by you in the Greater Toronto Philharmonic. I tend to like a lot of my music to reflect what's going on in our world, and you've been the prime beneficiary of those types of themes in my music. It's literally you've done a few in the last 3 or 4 years. So what is your feeling about the role of music and politics? How are you feeling about that?
Okay, so I think that music serves many purposes.
Right.
It can be purely for entertainment. It can be for enlightenment. It can be for for the sake of great art, for pleasure, for meditation. And I think that it does and it can have a very powerful role in social and political spheres as well, and to not directly create social change, but to indirectly create social change. And if I may, I brought with me a quote from one of my idols, one of my musical heroes.
Okay.
Leonard Bernstein.
Okay.
who I think all musicians know, at least all classical musicians know.
For sure.
And he has articulated something that I believe very strongly, and I'd like to read it.
Okay.
For everybody.
Great.
So Leonard Bernstein said, and this goes back to 1972, December 1972, and he says that the point is that art never stopped a war and never got anybody a job. That was never its function. Art cannot change events, but it can change people. It can affect people so that they are changed. Because people are changed by art, enriched, ennobled, encouraged. They then act in a way that may affect the course of events by the way they vote, they behave, the way they think. And I think that hits the nail on the head in terms of the power, not just of music, but certainly including music and all art,
right,
to affect people, and then people can affect change, political, social, hopefully environmental, as well. So I believe very strongly. I think we're on the same page when it comes to that.
I appeal to the whole world. I appeal to the leaders from all over the world to open our eyes to the stark reality that we face. I appeal to ministers. The outcome of our work is not about what our political masters want. It is about what is demanded of us by 7 billion people.
Sorry, you lost us there. This is part 2 of the same FB live chat.
How's my hair?
That's much better now. Much better and much clearer. So, welcome back, everybody. You're awesome. What are you excited about musically, projects and stuff coming up?
Okay, well, there's a few things that I'm working on that I'm quite excited about. First of all, I formed a new trio recently called Trio Dell'Aria.
Oh.
We just performed our first, it's a trio with myself,
Yeah.
clarinet, with piano and soprano. We do have a CD project in the works as well.
Right.
Which is going to include a work of yours.
Oh, really? So this is happening?
Yeah, so Memories of a Place Past is going to be on that disc when it eventually materializes.
That's amazing.
In fact, the CD is going to be titled Memories of Places Past.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's just too
And
cool.
your piece will be sort of the focal point of the whole
Oh my gosh.
disc, you know.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
so
thank you.
that's an exciting project.
Thank you.